What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're going to talk about the new microtransactions that were just added to Dragon's Dogma 2 because this just sucks. I love Dragon's Dogma 2 a lot. I've actually already beaten the game, I've discovered a lot of dungeons, I've broken out of jails, I've done a lot of monster slaying, and to be quite frank, Dragon's Dogma 2 is currently my game of the year. It is just so big and fun and cool, but that was before it released. Playing a pre-launch version of the game itself, it just felt so reasonably balanced, but now that it's actually released, as of last night, Capcom has filled the game with unnecessary pay-to-win microtransactions. And I want to talk about that because even if you do still enjoy this game like I do, I think it is important to call this crap out. But let's get into it. Hi, I'm DreamcastGuy, and I hope you're having a good day. If you could, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So I'm going to do my best to remain calm because I am recording this at 7 a.m. and I do have 4 roommates, so I probably shouldn't yell or I'm probably going to get a very pissed off text message. But I was actually surprised because when I'm reviewing a game, a lot of times half the fun of it is kind of waiting to see how the internet reacts to it. You know, if I'm playing a game that does feel incredibly unique and fun, a lot of times while I'm working on my video, I'm always just so honestly awestruck to think, wow, what kind of memes, what kind of impact is this game going to have on everybody else? So when I woke up this morning and realized that it is now mostly negative on Steam reviews, I was genuinely baffled because how could this happen? The game was just so fun for my 50 hours. What could have gone wrong? Well, it's this. Dragon's Dogma, more like drags my wallet. Jesus. I refunded it 118 minutes. This sucks. Paying for fast travel. Paying for character editing. Paying to revive people when they die. Bro, it is $100 game. What the heck? So this is a guy who posts it here in Australia. Obviously the games are more expensive there. They have taxes and import fees and stuff. But I decided to take a look at it myself. And even now, that guy posted his tweet 6 hours ago. Even now it is sitting at mixed reviews. So what seems to be the problem? Let's actually scroll down here. Wow. Literally all negatives. Oh wait, there's a positive. I butchered all my NPCs, and that makes the frame rate better. So apparently, everything about this game on PC is having some problems. Apparently, in general, obviously it doesn't work on Steam Deck, which that makes sense. It is a big open world game. The frame rates just across the board, it seems like it runs incredibly bad. People say it, even if you tweak the settings, it doesn't look that much better than a PlayStation 3 game, and yet it barely manages to push 40 FPS. Here's the main thing though. De novo, bad optimization, and microtransactions. Now, here's why people are mad about this, is because Capcom is a company that typically has been so good about making their games, especially this last last 5 or 6 years, maybe last 8 years. They've been so good at providing high quality games, listening to feedback, making a good mix of remakes and sequels with stuff like Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry, obviously all the Resident Evil remakes that I've been obsessed with. Now, let me be clear. I am a person that makes a lot of Capcom content. I am obsessed with Capcom, which is why I am extra certain that we need to call out this kind of crap. Now, they did apparently say, hey, here's a quick update to players on Steam. This came out just a couple minutes ago, right as I was waking up at 6 a.m. They basically were like, okay, we're going to try and fix it so the game, it is having a lot of crash errors. We're going to worry about that. Currently, you can't start a new game. It's just not possible. Apparently, because it is a singular save file, you get a single character and it only auto saves. If you want to try and actually start a new game on PC, You got to like go into the files and manually remove the data from your system. Kind of bonkers. And here's all the DLC. Now, I want to take a look at this specifically because honestly, this is what annoys me the most. This is literally pay to win. Now, sometimes people go, oh, it's optional. You don't need to buy it. I think it still stands as a matter of principle that they're allowing you to just buy a victory. I just think that it's going to seep into game design. That if you can buy a boss killing power up, they're going to make bosses tougher so that you're incentivized to buy these admittedly very cheap microtransactions. Now, here's my issue is that these are extremely convenient. So Rift crystals are how you summon pawns. So the more Rift crystals you spend, you can get pawns that are higher and higher level. You can always get a pawn for free that is your level. So like currently I'm level 35. I get level 35 pawns for free. That's already pretty dang beefy. But if you want, you can spend, 1,000 Rift crystals and get a guy who's level 40 or something like that, or 50. Somebody that's going to not just kick butt, but maybe even carry you. So stuff like this is ridiculous. Wake Stones just literally says, hey, bring anybody back to life, including yourself. So this is basically like a continue. Wake Stones are incredibly valued. They're one of the main primary resources in this game. If you die, you go down to 0 health. If you have a Wake Stone in your inventory, you have the option of, do you want to use it to get back up and keep fighting? I got total during the entirety of my 40 hours of play, 50 hours of play. I can't remember how much it was when I first reviewed it or when I first started reviewing it. That video, when I was editing it, I noticed I had 4 Wake Stones in the entire campaign. 4. Now, I ended up using 2 of those 4 and 1 I used to revive a character. These are incredibly valuable. They are a primary part of the game. Selling them for 99 cents, you could go, okay, that's cheap. Here's my thing, though. It still feels like it's stupid that you would sell such an important item at all. Like, this is something that should feel special, should be cool when you find it and use it. Now, oh God, these are the most ridiculous. Makeshift key. You get arrested in the game occasionally if you act up in town. Breaking out of jail, you pretty much just walk out. You break down a wall and walk out. They're selling a $1 prison key. I do not understand why. This is the stuff that to me is the most egregious. A port crystal. You can make a permanent or optional temporary warp stone location. You can put this down and pick it up. These things are incredibly valuable. Selling it for $3, and then they're also selling fast travel things themselves. You can pay to change your character. It costs in-game money to edit your character. It's not free. You can change how your character looks. God. I'm genuinely flabbergasted. I am genuinely just stunned that they would bother to do this because it's so unnecessary. The game is fantastic, and it almost seems to go against their own methodology. They're bragging about how the game is just so big and so interesting that there is no fast travel, and then they sell you fast travel. People keep talking about this. Capcom's director said they wanted you to stumble upon the Dragon's Dogma 2 store page, cough up some loose change to access a basic feature that's in every game. Everybody is legit like, this just sucks because the game is otherwise perfect. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Like, legitimately, this is my current game of the year, and I want to compare it to my last 2 games of the year, which is something like, let me think. Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, one of the greatest games of all time. And then before that, Elden Ring. And when you think about Baldur's Gate, they straight up said, hey, there will never be any freaking microtransactions because we feel like it breaks the immersion. In my review of Dragon's Dogma, multiple times I brought up the word immersion because I feel like that's what the game does best. It makes a world that is so big, so beautiful, so believable, you want to participate in it. Microtransactions hurt that. Even if you're not going to buy them, I still think it hurts it. I played this on PS5. I already finished the game, and I'm doing a bunch of side dungeons at this point to try and maybe get the platinum, although it's a long way off. My thought is the fact that this doesn't completely unmake the 10 out of 10, but it feels so unneeded. Was this really worth the bad press? People got upset when I called out the microtransactions they put into freaking Resident Evil 4, where you could spend real-life money to upgrade your guns. Completely. My thing is this. This game is already going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. Capcom themselves is making billions of dollars. They are one of the biggest, most successful companies right now. And is this really needed? Is this really worth the extra $1 million you get? Is this really worth nickel and diming your own fans to try and get 1% more profit for this amount of bad publicity? I just don't understand the exchange rate. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. All right, time for my morning Dr. Pepper. Oh, man.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.